to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Looks to the outside, and Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's Howling down to the inside.
I'm trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV. It's Wednesday night, short track action. Well, Rick, I don't know about that. Normally it's short track racing, but tonight a little bit different.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. We are at Gateway in beautiful Madison, Illinois. We're having some fun here on this beautiful 1.25 track, Chris. 4 turns, 1 and 2, 11 degrees, 3 and 4, 9 degrees. So these guys are going to have fun here with the super late models, I have a feeling.
Yeah, a little bit of banking in these corners to try and take advantage of. And Rick, yeah, you hit it, man. We're doing 60 laps here, 75 miles in the super late models. They are running a one-stop tire rule tonight. Pit window, whenever they kind of feel like it. They do have enough fuel to run the whole distance. They're allowed to take one stop for tires. You can take right sides only, left sides only, or all 4, but the trick is it can only go on the jack one time. Rick, we do know one thing, and that's pit road speed, 45 miles an hour, and that's going to be creeping around here when you're used to hitting top speed in these super late models.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, we're watching some guys here in practice. You know, they're hitting about 120, 130, maybe 35 miles, 135 miles, sometimes 140, especially when they're coming down those long stretches down through, especially the front stretch. They can get up to about 160 miles per hour.
Well, practice is over, Rick, and we're getting ready for heat number 1, and look at the list. It is power-packed. We're going to go through that with you in just a moment, just waiting for some cars to hit the track. And we're on board with Justin Rigsby right now in the 99. And there is the guy on the front row inside, number 98, Chris Stump himself. So we'll go through it. Chris Stump going to be starting on the pole. Ryan Nolan to his outside in the 87. Justin Rigsby going to be starting on the inside, second row. Sean Cool making his debut to the season. He's going to be starting on the outside of the second row with Mike Holtzclaw starting in 5th, Rick.
Then we have Al Smith Jr. in the 96 going to be starting 6th. Then we have Matt Vadi. Hopefully I remember that right, from the 8. Going to be starting 7th. Fortin in number 13 is going to be 8. KR Stolpus in the 77th, 9th. Andy Lambert is going to be finishing out row 5. In that number 70 car in 10th place. And then we have Dominic Lee in the 71, also another newcomer from to Racing for a Cause, going to be rounding out the field in 11th place in that number 71 machine.
Yeah, Dominic Lee going to be starting shotgun here tonight in his number 71, a number, well, you know, Rick, between you and I, both of our numbers are out on track. The numbers that we brought to Racing for a Cause are both on track. We're going to have to see how they do. The 77 of KR Stolfus, the 71, Dominic Lee running our old numbers. Up front, though, it is Chris Stump. Rick and I got to watch part of a race that Chris Stump was in the other night, and he was really up on that wheel.
Yeah, he really was, and I believe, if I remember correctly, he actually won that race in the truck, so it's going to be a little different out here tonight, Chris. He's on a, well, not really a smaller track. Like we said, it's a 1.25 miles. So definitely bigger than what these guys are used to. That pace car is off. We're going to be starting heat 1 here momentarily. That green flag is going to drop. And that's going to be interesting. Ryan Nolan also, Chris, we might have missed him, did we?
Nope.
In 2nd place? No? Okay.
Green, green, green. Heat number 1 underway. Chris Stump grinding hard on the inside with the number 87, Ryan Nolan. Actually gets a good advantage. A nice jump on that outside line, carrying momentum through turn 1 and 2. Oh, we got 24 going around. 24, Sean Cool goes around, and it brings out the first caution here in heat racing. We're going to go back and take a look. I believe KR Stolfus may have also been caught up in that, and one other I didn't catch. You see him right there on the outside. Sean Cool in the 24. He has got Rigsby to the inside in the 99. Sean Cool trying to carry a lot of momentum. Oh, it looks like he got a little loose there, Rick. And that brought Al Smith Jr. and the number 13 of Fortin into the wall. KR was actually not involved with that one. So good job for him to avoid. And that brings out caution number 1 here in this heat race.
And this is going to be something that we really want to look out for tonight, Chris, because I got into practice a little early and these cars were sliding around. At first I thought maybe they were just, playing around, having fun, but no, they were actually trying to turn laps, and after a couple of laps, these cars really do get loose, so that's going to be something to definitely watch for tonight.
Yeah, we got Fortin and Cool out on pit road. Fortunately, this is only heat racing, so not the finale, not the A feature as they call it on short track racing, but certainly not the way they want to try and get some laps in on this track. As around they went, 3 different cars involved. Ryan Nolan was able to take the lead in the very first back stretch from Chris Stump, and he is the heat leader right now. So it's going to be Nolan, Stump, Rigsby, top 3.
Holtzclaw, Beatty, Andy Lambert moved up. He's in 6th. Dominic Lee will be in 7th. KR Stolpus in the 77 will be 8th. Al Smith Jr. is still out there in that 96. 9th. We have Fortin and Sean Cool who have gone down into the pits. And actually, it looks like Al Smith Jr. might be in the pits also, Chris. So it's going to be an 8-car shootout, it looks like.
Again, it could be worse. It could have been happening during the feature. It is not. This is heat racing. And we've got Ryan Nolan, Chris Stump, and Justin Rigsby up front. And from what I've seen already, the outside line may be preferred, but boy, it looks like it could be really easy to lose control of the back end of those cars and send them around. So definitely something to watch for. It may be the fast line, but it could be the dangerous line here tonight.
Yeah, we'll call that the danger zone, man. We're going a little Top Gun tonight.
Would like to thank everybody out there watching here on MaxSpeedTV, bringing you exciting racing action, racing for a cause here on a Wednesday night. Getting ready to get the super late models going again. Pace car, only thing holding them up. Ryan Nolan up front. Bigger track than we're used to seeing these guys on, Rick, at 1.25 miles. But I think we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different than what these guys are used to. I mean, you know, these guys are mainly short track racers in real life. A lot of them are. And a lot of them have been with Racing for a Cause, Chris, for quite a while there. You know, after our, second season, there's some names out there of guys, and Ryan Nolan's one of them. You know, so far, we've been to Richmond this season. We've been to Stafford last week. We're at Gateway here. Next week, on April 3rd, Oxford. So, you know, definitely this is one of the bigger tracks, and they are going to be hitting New Hampshire there in May. So that'll be another one of the bigger tracks there that they're going to be racing on. But definitely a different mindset that you have to hit on. I mean, you know, these guys are used to just the short things, and everything's going around. They're doing what they're going to do. But tonight, man, I've been looking, and that track is definitely slick.
Yeah.
Right now and the track temperature is really not that bad. I mean, the air temperature and track temperature, Chris, both at 67 degrees as the lights on the pace car are off right now. We're going to have 5 laps to go. It's going to be a little 5-lap shootout here tonight in Madison.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see. We got to get through this heat racing and then on to the feature race. 60 laps, 75 miles coming your way. Wednesday night action, Racing for a Cause. We still have to talk to the race sponsor. We'll do that. We've got to talk about points. Those are important. We'll get to those as well. So, Rick, we've got a lot of work to cover here. And, well, it's luckily for us, it's still pretty early in the night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm kind of looking here through TeamSpeak, Chris. I don't really see...
Third one down.
Okay, yep, there he is. You're right. Better clean off my... I'm used to seeing James McIntyre Jr. Jamie. Clean the smudges off my glasses so I don't miss any of this action here tonight, Chris.
Rick, pace car light is off, and these guys getting set to go. Leader's choice. And that is Ryan Nolan, and he decides to go. Ryan Nolan takes off. Chris Stump trying to hold on to a sight. And so far, not very good because Ryan Nolan is gone. He's checking out. The 87 looking good, heading into turns 1 and 2. Chris Stump on the outside is able to catch up just a little bit. Justin Rigsby sitting in third. The battle right now for 4th spot. And well, it looks like Vade trying to take it over and does. Mike Holtzclaw getting past in his 22. Back in the field just a little ways. It looks like the 71, Dominic Lee, starting to catch up a little bit. Good looking number 71 right there. Goes down to the inside of Mike Holtzclaw, trying to take position away. And one thing I love about these super late models, Rick, I was talking about this before we even went live. The motors in these things sound incredible. The work iRacing has done, putting in the effort, and these cars really showing the benefits.
You're absolutely right, Chris. These things sound beautiful as they're going around, especially on a bigger track like this. I mean, it's fun on a short track too, but here they can really open up these motors and let them horses fly, and that's exactly what they're doing tonight.
KR Stolfus coming off from pit road, just ahead of the leader. And look at that, Chris Stump in the 98 takes a peek downside, not able to get there. Ryan Nolan slams the door. Justin Rigsby almost had a run on the outside, decided better. Ryan Nolan in the 87 has led 8 laps here so far with 2 laps to go, trying to make a clean sweep of it. The 98, oh, Chris Stump gets very loose, hangs on, does lose position to Rigsby, but Stump got really loose in his 98. And Matt Vade able to try and take advantage on the outside, not able to do it. Car gets tight and has to back off, loses position to the 71. Dominic Lee moves up. Andy Lambert in the 70 tries to get down to the inside. 1 lap to go. White flag is out. The 87, Ryan Nolan, looking strong to win this heat. Justin Rigsby is behind. And Chris Stump was able to hold on to third as that car was going sideways.
Yeah, definitely good on Stump on keeping that car going in the right direction, Chris. Able to hold on to it and get it going once again, but lost a lot of momentum there.
87 off the inside wall to take the checkered flag here in the heat race. They'll be able to fix up that fender as the second heat race starts to get ready to go. And, man, okay, so we had a little early caution. You know, somebody got loose and went around, and they took out a couple of cars. But I'll tell you what, Rick, after that, it was pretty flawless, and these guys were looking good out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a good heat race there. I mean, we'll see how heat number 2 goes. Now, we got to remember, these guys also are not just racing for their starting position, Chris. They're also racing for some bonus points. So, the top 4 get bonus points. So,
all right, guys, getting ready to start heat number 2. On the inside, it's Mike Massengill. To the outside, row number 1, it's driver of the number 11, Brian Hacker. Starting inside, second row, in his number 18, it's AJ Hamill. On the outside, in the number 81 vehicle, it's James McIntyre Jr. Starting in 5th spot, the number 83, Katie Osbenrick.
yeah, and then starting in number 6 at the outside of row number 3, it's the number 15 of Zach Coldbeer Coyer. And then we have the 52 of Tyler Hilton starting out row 4 and 7th. Rex Hoyle in the 50 had a late accident there last week, Chris. Kind of wrecked the race, but he's going to be starting 8th tonight. Steph Marinac in the 7 is going to be starting 9th. Matthew Spinks in the 35 is going to be starting 10th. And that's going to round out the field here for heat number 2 at Gateway.
Pace car light is off. Michael Massengill looking to try and get this one started in his good-looking 04. Pace car is off, waiting for that green flag. Mike drops down just a little bit in anticipation. Green flag is out. Brian Hacker with a huge jump on the green. He was ready to go. And Mike Massengill may have been asleep on the pedal because, wow, look at that. Hacker with a huge advantage off the get-go here. It is Hacker running in second. Excuse me, that is not correct. Mike Massengill running in second. James McIntyre, now AJ Hamill running third. That puts James McIntyre into 4th with Zach Coyer running in 5th in his 15.
Katie Osmond in the 83, Chris, running 6th right now. Tyler Hilton in 7th. Rex Hoyle in 8th. Steph Marinac in 9th. And Matthew Spinks in 10th still in that number 35 machine.
Katie Osmond looks to defend his position as the 52 of Tyler Hilton was to the inside, not able to get around. KD holds on for 6th spot. Up front, it is Hacker all the way. He likes the conditions out there, and he is proving it. 0.8 of a second gap already over the competition. 8 laps to go here in the second heat. Mike Massengill looking to try and figure out a way around this one where maybe he can catch Hacker, and the 18 holding on to 3rd strong. James McIntyre still running in 4th in the 81. We've got a challenge for 5th. Katie Osmond to the inside of Zach Coyer makes that pass. Heading into 3 and 4. KD looking good out there in the early going of this heat.
And while that was going on, Chris, the hashtag Sugar Bad, the Green Mountain Madman, and the number 18, AJ Hamill, able to get around Mike Massengill to take over 2nd position, trying to reel in Brian Hacker now. Got the 81 of James McIntyre Jr. also taking peeks on that 04. Massengill able to hold him off as of right now. But I don't think this battle's over yet either.
Man, there's a battle brewing right now, too, for 7th spot. Steph Marinick in the 7 car has it. Tyler Hilton trying to get it back. Tyler Hilton in the 52, heading in the wrong direction here, but he is racy in that 52. So watch for him. Up front, though, it is Hacker, and he has got himself a 1.3 second lead over 2nd place AJ Hamill. Hamill may have been held up for just a little too long. That's a gap that I don't know he's going to be able to make back up. With Mike Massengill sitting in 3rd and James McIntyre 4th. KD looking to try and catch these cars in front of him, put a challenge on perhaps. He's sitting in 5th. Would love to see a top 3 in the first heat. 6 laps to go.
James McIntyre putting the pressure on hard onto Massengill right now, Chris. That last time by, McIntyre was able to reclaim or take over 3rd place. Massengill back and forth, but it looks like the 81 has now cleared the 04, moving up into 3rd position.
Yeah, that's McIntyre in 3rd now, and Massengill in 4th. While that battle was happening, it allowed KD to catch up just a little bit in that sun drop 83. And look at him, he's on the inside. That car's sticking very good to the inside lane tonight. Watch for that 83 during the finale. Brian Hacker still up front, 1-3-5-0 lead over 2nd place AJ Hamill. Hamill's got about a 2nd lead over McIntyre. And then it's Massengill with KD Osmond behind. Rounding out the top 5, Rex Hoyle has moved up to 6th spot in his number 50. The 7 gets off the wall. The 52 gets off the wall. No damage there. Continuing on. Zach Coyer started up on the front row. Is now back in 9th with Matthew Spinks just holding on to the 35. He's in 10th. Brian Hacker still up front. The gap now 1.6, so definitely Hacker's found some speed here. 1.7 around that corner. The gap is increasing back to AJ Hamill. Hamill is saying goodbye. Now he's got to start looking at the back windows. McIntyre, with 2 laps to go, is starting to close in just a little bit with Mike Massengill behind. KD seems to have settled in the 5th spot with Rex Hoyle right behind. And speaking of right behind, Steph Marinick right behind Hoyle. To the inside, KD Osmond looking to try and get into 4th spot. He's got him by a nose right now, heading on to the front stretch. KD Osmond takes position away from Massengill in the 04. White flag in the air. Brian Hacker looking to win heat number 2. Brian Hacker way out front, 1.5 seconds. AJ Hamill sitting in 2nd with James McIntyre running in 3rd. And Hacker looks to try and put this one away. Rounding turns 3 and 4 back out onto the front stretch. It's Brian Hacker, and he's going to win this one by about 1.6 seconds as he goes across the start-finish line and shuts it down. AJ Hamill and James McIntyre rounding out to top 3. KD Osmond in his 83 Sundrop. He finished in 4th. Steph Marinick 5th in the 7. Rex Hoyle, Mike Massengill, Tyler Hilton, Zach Coyer, and Spinks rounded all out. We're into 5-minute warm-up time, Rick, and that means we have to talk to race sponsor tonight, James McIntyre. So we're going to get him up, Rick. James McIntyre, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hi.
Oh, you're KR.
Yes, I got a copy.
James, how you doing tonight?
Good, how you doing?
Good, good. Hey, I got you up here because you are responsible for putting on this race, and I want you to have the opportunity to talk about the charity you chose for tonight's race.
Well, we got the team folked up the door and sponsored the race, SRI, with the Smith Racing Incorporated. But what I got on the hood of the car is the gold for the children's cancer. I having a father that lost his battle with pancreatic cancer, I couldn't imagine what these families go through with if I had one of my children going through it. So I don't know. It's just kind of somewhat close, near and dear.
No, absolutely, man. And I'm sorry about the loss, but good work to get that sponsor out there. And again, we really do appreciate you signing the check for this race tonight. And we look to do you well. Hey, you were just involved in a pretty good second heat. Since we have you here, why don't you tell me, how does that track feel? Because it looks like it might be a little loose tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely, you're going to have to watch it. I think as tires start wearing, 1 and 2 is coming out of 2, it's pretty slick. You're going to have to watch it. 3 and 4 is not quite so bad, but yeah, it's going to be entertaining to watch, that's for sure.
All right, bud. Well, I'm going to let you go down and get some extra practice in. You got about 3 minutes to go. Again, thank you very much, and good luck during the race.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for broadcasting and putting on a great show.
Well, that's yet to be decided, but yeah. So, Rick, we got about 2 minutes, 40 seconds before the feature gets going here. Brian Hacker looks like he's going to be setting up on the pole, and he just won by, well, in that short a distance of time and laps. We're going to call that a country mile here.
Yeah, you're pretty much right, Chris. I mean, that was a very good race, and he did a good job there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race pans out. We're going to find out here just in about 2 minutes, Chris. And we're going to let these horses fly, man. I mean, we got, like you said, we got 60 laps here tonight, so it's going to go by quick. I mean, it is a bigger track with these cars. They're just going to go. So we're in for some good racing, bud.
All right, well, we're going to step away for just a quick second. We'll bring you all the action here in 2 minutes. All right, before we get too involved with the race, did want to bring up point standings, Rick, because it's, well, you know, so it's an early season. We're only on race number 3, but we got Matt Vade and Ryan Nolan up top, 1 win apiece. Katie Osmond sitting in 3rd, 12 points behind. Troy Radford, who is not here but is here, out in chat. Hi, Troy. Andy Lambert sitting in 5th, Spinks in 6th. AJ Hamill in 7th, Justin Rigsby 8th, Rex Hoyle 9th, and Mike Holtzclaw sitting in 10th. Then we've got Zach Coyer, Al Smith Jr., Doug Wasaki, another one who's not here tonight but joining us out in chat land, Chris Stump, James McIntyre, we just spoke to him, KR, Mr. 77 Stolfus out there running in 16th in points, Dylan Blankenship, Tony Quadros, Justin McDuff, and Tyler Hilton are the top 20 here in points, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're on race number 3. The season is 10 races long, so these guys don't have a lot of time to make up, but can't count anybody out yet, Chris. I mean, not until you get around the halfway point or just over that. So these guys definitely have a lot of room to make up stuff, and looks like the warm-up is over. So we're getting ready, man. It's going to be interesting. Definitely want to say hi to Troy and Doug out there. We miss you guys out here on track tonight. Hopefully everything's good. I want to say hi to Brad. He's out there also, and Linda.
Yeah, lots of guys joining us out in track tonight, and ladies. As we get ready to go, Rick, we'll bring up the well, we'll bring up the gridding music, as you will. Starting on the pole in his car number 50, it's going to be Rex Hoyle. To his outside, row number 1 in his 70, it's Andy Lambert. Starting on the second row inside, it's going to be Steph Marinak in his 7. To his outside, Matt Vade. Starting in position number 5, it's Katie Osmond driving the number 83, Dominic Lee to his outside, row number 3. Row 4, inside, the number 81, James McIntyre Jr. On his outside, Chris Stump. And row number 5, Rick, it's going to be AJ Hamill starting in 9th, Justin Rigsby starting 10th.
And we get the number 11, Brian Hacker, going to be starting in row 6 in 11th position. Ryan Nolan in 87 is going to be starting 12th. Row number 7, Mike Holsclaw in the 22 is going to be starting 13th. Mike Massengill going to be starting 14th. You get the number 77, KR Stolpus in 15th. Tyler Hilton in the 52, 16th. Al Smith Jr. in the 96 qualified 17th position in row 9. Next to him, Zach Coldbeer Coyer in the number 15, starting 18th. Fortin in the 13 is going to be starting 19th. Matthew Spink's going to be rounding out the field in 20th in that 35. And Sean Cool is actually going to be riding the shotgun position there in the 24 and 21st, Chris, and we're green.
Green, green, green. Rex Hoyle had control of the field on the inside. The 70, Andy Lambert to the outside. Watch out, boys. It's cold tires out there, and we've seen what can happen. Heat number 1 showed us these cars don't like those cold tires. Rex Hoyle sitting in second spot would love to catch Andy now. Rex Hoyle started on the pole. Andy Lambert taking advantage early.
Yeah, Andy got a good little pass there on the outside, Chris, like you talked about. I think that's really where we're going to see most of the action here tonight, guys, really looking. But you can definitely do it on the inside, and that's exactly what Rex Hoyle's doing right now on the 70 machine, putting a little pressure there on the inside. He's taking the 7 with him. And you're absolutely right. One thing these guys have to worry about, those cold tires. It's going to take a few laps for them to get warmed up. Probably around lap 5 or so, they're going to be able to go. I mean, KD, he showed us what he can do there in that number 83 during his heat race, Chris. He had that thing on rails. He could keep it right down in the bottom line, sticking right there. But right now, Andy Lambert is still the race leader.
Andy Lambert able to really clear Hoyle this time, and he takes sole control of position number 1. Hoyle right behind him in second. The battle for third continues on. Steph Marinak is on the inside. Matt Bade is on the outside. 71, Dominic Lee right behind. Now to the inside. Oh, 22 going around. That's Mike Holtzclaw going around. He collects up the 96. That's Al Smith Jr. We're going to have to go back to the Max Speed instant replay to catch the action. I saw it kind of just on the outside of the screen. The 22 racing around the 52 and Al Smith Jr. right behind. 22 looks like he gets on the gas a little early, sends that 22 around, and oh boy. We're going to go back again, take another advantage point here. Maybe not so far away. How about that? So we got Hacker, oh, the 22, the 96, KR gets into the 96, the 13 gets into the 96, and the 22 rumbles on, the 96 pulls back out on track. So, oh, look at that. Rick 22 is driving a little off center right now.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a crab walk there, Chris.
And he is on pit road as we go back up to race leader during caution number 1. Here we are on lap number 4. We said it, Rick. Cold tires, and I think we just saw it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously everyone wants to race position, Chris. I mean, like we talked about with the points. I mean, the points are pretty close. They're up towards the front. So, I mean, these guys racing for every little position that they possibly can get. I mean, the heat races do help because, like we said, they do get bonuses from first to fourth. And, you know, but on a track like this, it's long, it's big, you're gaining a lot of speed. You have to take it easy those first few laps. I mean, right now, even with these guys right now under caution, Chris, those tires are actually starting to cool off. So something else I have to worry about, especially on the restart, worry about spinning your tires and stuff. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, we've only run a handful of laps here, Rick, and already we can see some movers out there. We're looking at the 87. That's Ryan Nolan. He's moved up 4 positions so far. The 52 has moved up 3. And Sean Cool in the 24 has moved up 6. So definitely there's been some movement out there. And we're going to look to see some more of that here as the laps start to continue on. We got to get this thing back under green, though. The 7 and the 8, that's Marinac and Vade. They haven't moved at all. They're still running 3rd and 4th out there. The 71, Dominic Lee, he is up 1 position. The 98, Chris Stump, he is all the way up 2 positions, running in 6th spot. KD right behind him in the 83, running in 7th. Ryan Nolan, we mentioned him, he's running in 8th position right now. The 99 of Justin Rigsby is running in 9th. AJ Hamill ending out the top 10. Pace car lights shut off. Cars start lining up 2 by 2. Andy Lambert's going to be on the pole, and he's going to choose the outside. So Andy Lambert's going to be starting this one on the outside, and from what we've seen on the starts, the outside has the advantage. During the actual race, it looks like the advantage goes slightly to the inside, but Andy's looking to have as much track as possible on this restart, as we will restart here on, and it's going to be lap 7 when we take the green again.
Something to a little interest of note there, Chris. We have 2 number 7s out there tonight. We have Steph Marinac in the number 7. We also have Matt Vadi, who's normally number 8, but tonight Andy has decided to let these guys try out the custom numbers with their own stamps. So that's something. So if we talk about the 8 and you guys don't know what we're talking about that white and lime green and purple car out there, Matt Vadi. We'll get there.
And we are under green again. Rex Hoyle with a really good start, but a little too good maybe as he lets Andy Lambert go back by for the pass, and that's causing mass confusion up front. Oh my, everybody ducking out of the way. Rex Hoyle had to get out of it. He was the first one to cross the start-finish line, had to let Andy Lambert back, and it is causing some serious confusion out there. These guys avoiding each other, going 3 wide. Down the back stretch, they straighten it out to 2. Into turns 3 and 4. It looks like it is all straightened out, but wow. Wow. How is that not a caution?
These guys did a fabulous job out there, Chris, keeping everything on track, doing what they have to do. But, yeah, I mean, that was definitely some mix-up there. The number 50, Rex Hoyle, really had to slow down, Chris, and that really hurt him. I mean, he was there. He's sitting in 7th position right now. But everybody, all these drivers, definitely a big pat on the back and tipping my hat to you guys because that was crazy.
Andy Lambert facing a challenge. Steph Marinac on the inside. Looks like he may have advantage. The 71 gets tight, goes way to the outside. Steph Marinac goes way to the front. Chris Stump sitting in 3rd goes down to the inside. Andy Lambert in trouble in the 70.
Yeah, Andy kind of stuck there, Chris, with nowhere to go, really. He's got pressure from all sides right now. The 87, Ryan Nolan's looking on his inside right now. As a matter of fact, putting a little bit more pressure, trying to do what those other 2 guys did. Doing a good job at it there.
Ryan Nolan has a fender, and that gives him all the advantage he needs. He goes down to the inside. Andy Lambert looking for a way back down. Can't get there. The 87's already there, and he's got another challenge coming behind, and Rex Hoyle. Rex Hoyle starting to find that speed. He is caught back up, and he's sitting in 5th spot now. The 87 still working on the 70 of Andy Lambert. Ryan Nolan looks to have advantage going down. Oh, we got trouble, Rick.
We got a big one.
Didn't see everything that happened there. It looks like Vadi was definitely involved in his number 8. We're going to go back and take a look as this race under caution for the second time here in its short stint. We got the 11 of Brian Hacker looking to make it 3 wide, not able to do it. Oh, it actually happened in front of him. And look at the carnage it left. Holy cow. We're going to have to go back, though, Rick, because I did not see exactly who that was. It may have been the 13. No, it was not. 13 makes it clear.
Somebody bounced off the wall there, Chris. I'm trying to figure out who it was. It might have been the 71 bounce off the wall. Brian Hacker did get into Vadi in that number 7, but showing on our screen is number 8.
Yes, it was the 71, and everybody else checks up. The 71 able to drive away. Oh, no. Lots of damaged cars out there now, Rick, as we are under caution number 2. There's a bunch of cars that were out back. Now coming down pit road, get service done. Remember, there's only 1 stop for tires for this entire race. You can take 2, you can take 4, but you can only take them once. Otherwise, you're down on pit road for only one thing, and that's to repair your vehicle. Look like Mike Holtzclaw in the 22 coming around, going to get his lap back. One of a few. KR Stolfus on pit road, and he's been there for a little while. Don't know if he just got damaged or if he took tires in his 77, but he rolls off.
There's some heavy damage on the front and on the right side front of that number 77 MaxSpeedTV Outlaw 77S on Twitch. So I'm sure that's exactly what he came down for, Chris. He's got some serious damage right now on that number 77.
Well, not exactly a drafting track, but I don't think you want to have crinkled up fenders, and that doesn't even take into account what it could have done to a tie rod end or lower control arm. May have something bent. We'll have to watch that 77, and you know, sometimes it actually works out that your car handles better. I don't think that's going to be the case here for the 77 tonight.
No, but I definitely have seen that, Chris, and been a part of that before, where you bang the wall just a little bit, next thing you know, your car is not as tight anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mr. KR Stolpus can do out there in that number 77.
Up front, we have a race leader. His name's Steph Marinak in the number 7 car. Behind him, it's Chris Stump and Andy Lambert. Actually, probably a little happy to see that caution because he was heading the wrong way. He's got Ryan Nolan sitting behind him in the 87 with Rex Hoyle rounding out the top 5. AJ Hamill, KD Osmond, Dominic Lee in the 71, Tyler Hilton in the 52, and Sean Cool rounding out the top 10. Steph Marinak, Ricky's led 5 laps so far. And he's been racy. You know, he started on the second row. He was there through the first caution. And with that little misshift, we're going to think it's a misshift. Rex Hoyle kind of went way back in the field, and everybody avoided him. Steph Marinak took advantage, took over the lead. And Chris Stump followed him through. That put Andy Lambert in 3rd. Ryan Nolan definitely moving tonight. He is up to 4th with Rex Hoyle behind him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. And for those people that are out there in MaxSpeedTV land watching the Racing for Cause Super Late Model guys, if you don't know, if you're not on the service itself, iRacing a few builds ago actually reworked the transmissions and how these vehicles work. So it's very easy now to actually either A, stall the car or slip that shift. So that very well could have happened to Rex Hoyle, Chris, but don't count him out. He's there. He's still digging pretty hard. And we watched him race for the last couple of races, and he's very racy. So I don't expect Rex Hoyle to stay there in 6th position for too long.
Out behind Ryan Nolan for this restart. We see him driving down the back stretch, getting ready to go into turns 3 and 4. The pace car will drop onto pit road, getting Steph Marinak in the 7. The green light to go. It is the leader's choice when they can go. going to try and catch Chris Stump sleeping. Stump's inside with Andy Lambert behind him. Ryan Nolan on the second row outside. And Steph didn't waste any time. He is gone. That 7 took it off. Ryan Nolan able to follow him through. Chris Stump works his way back to third. AJ Hamill coming up through. Gets around Andy Lambert in the 70, but on the outside. So Lambert has a chance. The 70. Oh my goodness, look at the 71 go. Dominic Lee making it 3 wide, heading down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Andy Lambert has to jump off the gas pedal. These guys are racing hard tonight. Is this the finale?
I think
for the season?
I think
is everybody tied?
That's how they're racing right now, Chris. I mean, these guys doing a good job. You see KD Osmond out there in that number 83. He's working his way around Andy Lambert. Andy Lambert starting to go back. He's got Tyler Hilton right now on his inside.
I think if I were Andy, I'd probably move back too. It's not safe up there. These guys are literally running like it's the last lap of the last race. Everybody tied up, dead knots in the point standings. And that is not the case, folks. We are out race number 3 on the season. Holy cow. If this is the excitement they're going to bring to us every Wednesday, I'm going to have to go get a pacemaker. I'm going to have to get some blood pressure medicine. Oh, Lord.
And I'm going to need to get a longer chair, Chris, because I'm about ready to fall out of mine right now as I'm on the edge.
Rex Hoyle trying to make a comeback, sitting in 6th spot, goes down low to the inside. He gets into 71. 71 goes around. Katie goes up high and gets around the 71. Dominic Lee going for a ride as we are under caution one more time. And Lee trying to straighten that 71 out. The 70 also involved. And we're going to go back and take a look at that one. .50 gets tight, goes up into the 71. 71 goes around, comes back out on track. Oh, and the 77 gets into the back of the 71. Holy Lord. Lots of action around that 71. And Andy Lambert going to be the last car on the lead lap. Lap 18 of 60, we're already on caution number 3. If they hit 5 cautions, Rick, league rule states they go single file restarts to try and straighten everybody out. But we're not there yet, so we've got another couple of attempts here to try and keep it side-by-side racing on the restarts. Steph Marinak out front. He's got Ryan Nolan behind him. Chris Stump running in 3rd, and AJ Hamill running in 4th. Rex Hoyle has made his way back up to 5th. KD Osmond running in 6th. Sean Cool in his number 24 going to be running 7th tonight. Holtzclaw going back to get another lap back. Tyler Hilton in the 8 car running in 8th. Al Smith Jr. was involved in that very first caution. He's running in 9th. And Justin Rigsby, he's out there rounding out the top 10. Zach Coyer is in 11th. Matthew Spinks running in 12th. The 13 of Fortin going to be running 13th right now. Brian Hacker in the 11, running 14th. James McIntyre in the 81, 15th. Dominic Lee, we just saw him go for a ride in his 71, running 16th. Andy Lambert in the 70, he's running 17th, Rick, but he is coming down pit road. Heavy damage to that left side. These guys are definitely getting it on. This is wicked.
That's really unfortunate for the number 70, Andy Lambert, Chris. He started out this race pretty strong there. Unfortunately, not the night that he really wanted. That car looks beautiful, though. I do like the colors.
He started on the front row, had the lead for a while. Lambert actually has led 6 laps here tonight. Good enough for 2nd in the most laps led award category. But Steph Marinak has got him almost, well, actually he does. He has him doubled up at 12. Only one other racer out there has led a lap. That's Rex Hoyle, currently sitting in 5th spot. The 87 takes a little excursion just about to the outside of the track, comes back out on. This track, very, very cool, Rick. It's got a lot of neat features about it. We already talked about the banking in turns 1 and 2, and the banking in turns 3 and 4. We haven't talked about the quarter-mile long drag strip.
I know, you really like that drag strip.
I think that's pretty cool. I think drag racing definitely has a place out there in the world, and unfortunately it seems like it may have lost some of its popularity, but I'm an old speed kind of guy, and I think there's no replacement for displacement still.
What's kind of cool about this track too is it's a little bit like Pocono, where it takes its corners, you know, from 2 different tracks. I mean, here it's only 2. Over in Pocono, you know, it's a little bit more, but turns 1 and 2 are fairly similar to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 3 and 4 are more towards the old Phoenix International Raceway. So the little egg-shaped thing, I mean, it's a totally different track. It's not, you know, something that these guys are used to. I mean, number one, they're not used to a track this size, so they're having a little difficulty tonight. These cars are very fast, and that's causing for a lot of good racing, but the problem is it's good close racing, and as we know, I mean, it doesn't take much to send these cars around, so, you know, that's, I think, where a lot of the cautions have come from.
Steph Marinak out in front, going to be restarting on the pole to the outside. He's going to have Ryan Nolan to the inside. Chris Stump going to be inside, number 3rd spot in his number 98, with AJ Hamill on the outside, running in 4th. Steph Marinak waiting for that pace car to drop down pit road. It does. It is all up to him now. The 7 car looking to try and take advantage. And he gets on the loud pedal before anybody else. He is gone. Steph Marinak takes the green flag.
Like the 87, Ryan Nolan really kind of caught on, but caught on just a couple seconds too late, Chris. I mean, as you know, these restarts, I mean, every second counts. I mean, the 87 really started to go and then held back a little bit as he saw the 7 kind of hold back, but then the 7 used that to his advantage. Got a really good lead right now, about 0.350 seconds from Ryan Nolan, but don't count him out. And there's AJ Hamill sitting in 3rd right now. We got Chris Stump in 4th. Sean Cool in the 24 moves up to 5th. Katie Osmond sitting in 6th. Al Smith Jr. in 7th. Tyler Hilton in 8th. Zach Coldbeer Coyer in the 15, 9th. And rounding out the top 10, we got the 13 of Horton. He's out there trying to make his way back up through the field right now. He's got a little pressure with Justin Rigsby. Justin Rigsby in the 99, able to get around him, Chris, to take over 10th spot. James McIntyre gets around Horton also, moves that 81 up to 11th.
Yeah, the 13 going backwards now is he's got the 11 of Brian Hacker on his inside, and Hacker takes position away. Spinks working the inside. He's on the inside of the 71. The 8 car goes down below and kind of takes the line away from the 35. It is the preferred line. And Spinks starts to lose a little bit of time. The 71 takes a peek to the inside. Doesn't have it, gets back in line. And Andy Lambert trying to get back up in the field. KR Stolfus, the last car, one on the lead lap, and you see the heavy damage to the front end. That radiator not breathing right now, Rick. Gotta watch out for overheating out of that 77.
Yeah, you definitely do, Chris. I'm back up here with leaders. Ryan Nolan was giving a little bit of a pressure on the number 7 there. AJ Hamill's right there, too, so I mean, Nolan had to think twice about what he wanted to try to do, because that was going to open up a big gap for the number 18. Right now, the 18 sitting in 3rd position. Chris Stump right behind him. You could throw a blanket over those guys.
That top 6 cars really are in a pretty decent line, and it's not too far away from 7th place runner Al Smith Jr. right now, as he is looking to try and close in on KD. KD to the outside, comes back behind Sean Cool. These guys staying in a line. Sean Cool right behind Chris Stump. Stump trying to figure out a way to get around AJ Hamill. And Hamill very happy. He started in 9th spot, currently running 3rd. You know he wants a couple more. Ryan Nolan started in 12th spot. He is up to 2nd. He did it quick. Lap 27 of 60, not even halfway done. A little wiggle out of the 87 though. Chris Stump in the 98 being very patient. Just trying to figure out what AJ is going to do. May want to go with him. Those two cars looking to go to the inside. They do. They make the move. And Stump goes back to the outside. Sean Cool behind him, but AJ under. Oh, we got one.
Give massive props to number 24 there, Sean Cool, Chris. He got into with it with a little bit with KD and slammed into the wall, but he was able to correct that and keep it going on the straight and narrow right now, keeping these guys under green. What an outstanding job by the Rocket Fuel Cool.
Heavy damage to the right front of the 83 machine of Katie Osmond. And now he's got Al Smith Jr. kind of sharking his way to the inside, maybe trying to set up a pass. And Al Smith Jr. really just doesn't have the momentum this time by. May get it here on the backstretch. Going into 3 and 4. No, sir. The 96 not able to get there. The 11 actually gets tight, goes on to the outside. And we've got a blinker. It's James McIntyre Jr. blinking away on the 81 car. Back up front, it's Steph Marinak. He's got a 0.6 of a second lead now over AJ Hamill. AJ Hamill has been able to separate himself from third place runner Chris Stump. Ryan Nolan is running in fourth with Tyler Hilton in the 52, rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, Stump had to look a couple of times there on the inside and outside of Nolan. Chris was able to complete the pass there on the 87 to knock him back down into fourth position. And right now, Stump looking on the inside of that number 18 of the Green Mountain Madman.
That Stump definitely took a peek, didn't like what he saw, came back behind the 18, the 87 taking a peek to the inside, doesn't commit, and falls in the line behind Chris Stump. So Ryan Nolan looking to try and make his way back forward, but the 98's trying to get around the 18, and that's racing.
Yeah, I mean, Stump's not giving it up, Chris. He's right on the inside right now with AJ Hamill, sitting there trying to Hamill tearing down the house, gets right back out in front of Stump. Stump moves in line with AJ. At the 87, Ryan Nolan, he's looking on the inside of the 98 right now. Can't complete that pass, moves up behind the 98. These guys are definitely peaking, Chris. They want to get up front, and they want to try to put some pressure on Steph Marinak and that number 7.
A little over halfway done with this one, Rick. And Steph Marinak has been up front for 24 laps. Andy Lambert, who led some laps earlier on, now sitting in 15th as he was involved in one of the cautions. He's to the inside of the 13. Doesn't have it, falls back in line. Heavy damage to the left front still on that 70 car. The 77 trying to make his name known. That's KR, Mr. 77. He's running in 17th spot after starting 15th. Heavy damage to that car. And again, that could be causing some speed loss and some overheating issues.
Yeah, I'm sure KR is definitely sitting there watching his gauges as close as he possibly can, Chris. Doing a good job so far. He started 15th tonight. He's sitting in 17th right now, so he's got a little bit of work still left to do to get back to where he started, but don't give up on KR. He is a digger, and he will not stop until the checkered flag falls. And I think I might know what part of his problem is. He told me not to mention this tonight, but Mr. 77 became an A-class road racer there yesterday. So congratulations to KR for doing something on the roadside. Now he's going to try to do it here at Gateway.
Behind him, Dominic Lee in the 71, again, heavily damaged. He's been involved in a couple. And the 71 looks to have lost a lot of speed. Up front, it is Steph Marinak in that 7, and the gap is closing. AJ Hamill, Chris Stump working together, and maybe not for much longer as Stump took a peek to the inside. Again, didn't like what he wanted to see there, so he falls back in line. But I think right now the 98 may be just a touch quicker than the 18. Had to get into the brake, so he didn't get into the backside of the 18 of AJ Hamill, and he sets up again. The 98 looking for the inside. This time he looks like he may have it going into turns 1 and 2. Again, on the brakes, gives AJ Hamill plenty of room to work with. The 87 has to get on the brakes. And not as much as the 98 as the 87 of Ryan Nolan goes to the inside, not able to get there. Chris Stump defends. Good battle here, Rick.
I was just going to say that, Chris. These three drivers, the 18, the 98, and the 87, really pouring on lap to lap. That's exactly what Marinak wants to see, Chris. Hey, you guys go ahead, keep racing hard back there. Just lets me get this lead just a little bit more. It's not really much of a lead, though.
Oh, it's a half a second. And as those guys were racing, it went from 0.3 of a second to a half a second. So that's 0.2 and just that little bit out. Chris Stump gets loose again. The gap now 0.6 of a second as these guys are lined up. I think they're going to try and maybe go after the leader. AJ Hamill would love to stay right where he is so that he'd be the first one to catch him. If these three can stay in line, they have a chance. But they want to race. The 98 peeking in and out just a little bit. 18 not falling for it, stays in his line. 98 goes out just a little bit, going to catch a little momentum on the outside. It may allow the 87. No, the 87 gets loose. That's Ryan Nolan. Gets a little loose coming off from that corner. He saw a hole and he was trying to fill it, not able to. Chris Stump had some momentum coming off from that corner by going a little high there. And he does sneak down to the inside now. AJ Hamill under attack. Chris Stump not able to do it. Pulled up side by side. Couldn't make the pass at the start-finish line. Falls back in line, third spot.
And number 18, American Diabetes Toyota is looking strong out there, Chris. I mean, so many times Chris Stump has gotten, like you just said, and like we just saw, side by side with the 18, not able to do it. He's looking on the inside once again. And this time, coming out of the corner, he really gets a lot of momentum. Ryan Nolan's kind of thinking, hey, I might try that, but not able to do it there as the 18 falls in behind the number 98 Stump.
Watching that pass, that was somebody who just wasn't going to lift. He wanted that position. He had been fighting long enough for it. AJ, I think, felt that pressure and just stayed up high and let it happen. 98 wiggles again coming off the corner. And AJ Hamill now running third to Chris Stump in second. Ryan Nolan hanging out in fourth spot. And Steph Marinak still up front. The gap, 0.6 of a second. Would love to see that close up. Get some action here up front. Steph Marinak's had it pretty easy here for a little while. It's about time somebody puts the pressure on with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's definitely looking at his mirror now going, oh boy, I know that black car, that black and blue car. Right now he's not too worried, but I'm sure he's definitely glancing up into his rearview mirror just a little bit more than what he has been there, Chris. Chris Stump, as we know, has been a very good racer here, racing for a cause. He's won a bunch there last season. And he's a racer, man. He likes to go, go, go. So definitely Steph Marinak. Something that he's going to keep an eye on right now.
Steph Marinak started this one in third, and he has been in control for the last 34 laps. Chris Stump started 8th position. He is up to second and looking to try and close that gap down. AJ Hamill started 9th, currently running third. He was in control of second place for a long time. He and Stump having a good battle. Stump right now prevailing. Ryan Nolan came from 12th position all the way up to 4th and looking to try and figure out a way into the top 3. Justin Rigsby is sitting in 5th spot, but Tyler Hilton right behind him in the 52. Hilton started in 16th position. He is in 6th now with Al Smith Jr. right behind. Al Smith started in 17th position, currently running in 7th with James McIntyre behind him, running in 8th. Zach Coyer making a pass on Katie Osmond right now. Coyer scored in 9th position in his 15 with Katie on the outside. Katie looks to be fighting back on the outside with Brian Hacker right behind them running in 11th. We got the 7-8 car. We'll call it the 8 car because that's how it is, but definitely has a 7 painted on that thing. He's running in 12th position. Andy Lambert has worked his way back up into 13th position. He's got Matthew Spinks behind him in the 35. Sean Poole, after having a pretty good run, got tangled in, and right side damage put him back to 15th. Thornton in the 13. And KR Stolfus battling for position. Stolfus looking to get around the 13 and does. That's for 16th spot for KR. And Fortin falls back into 17th. Dominic Lee in the 71. We saw him go around hard. He's running in 18th position. He's the last car on the lead lap. Rex Hoyle out there running 2 laps down in that number 50. Not the race he was looking for. Mike Bassengill. He started this one way up in the field. Now running way back in the field. He's the last car running. He's 5 laps down in his 04.
I've been watching Tyler Hilton, Chris. We haven't really talked too much about him. I know we mentioned him there just a few minutes ago. But I was just watching him going around, and it seems like a lot of the cars, as they're coming out of 2 heading into the backstretch, that's where it gets really loose here. So, I mean, obviously the tires have worn away. We got 15 laps left to go. But definitely, I mean, we're seeing it more and more. We saw it a couple times when we were watching the leaders, like Chris Stump and stuff like that. You know, they get into the coming out of turn number 2, heading into that backstretch, and they just slide. And it's gotten a little bit better, but they're all over the place tonight. These super late models are a lot of fun. I mean, we talked about racing these a long time ago, and iRacing just never put a lot of time and effort into them, so the setups were never bad. So it's really good to see with the last few builds here, these cars out there, Andy making that decision to bring them here for this season, racing for a cause, and they don't disappoint, man.
10 cars out of the 21 started have not come down pit road yet. The top 4 cars all on the original set of tires, and Chris Stump is closing the gap. Steph Marinek has a mirror full of black hood out of that 98 car, and he has brought AJ Hamill and Ryan Nolan to the party as the gap 0.2.
Yeah, I mean, Stump's right there, but just as we saw, Chris, he came out of 2, got a little wiggle out of that number 98, but he's able to hang right on to the back bumper, the number 7 right now. I mean, we got 13 laps left to go, coming down to be 12 here. I think we're definitely going to be seeing Stump putting a lot of pressure on the 7 and looking on the inside, looking on the outside, trying to find that one spot where he can make it. And we know he can do it. It's just going to take a few laps.
Top 4 positions, all within striking distance. Ryan Nolan going to the inside of AJ Hamill, the 87, trying to break into the top 3. Ryan Nolan has Hamill coming onto the straight, gives a little wiggle out of that 87, the 18, able to keep the power to the tires, and has 3rd still at the start-finish line, and that's going to back Ryan Nolan up and make him start all over again. Nolan gets loose again and falls in line. The 98, Chris Stump, still trying to figure out what to do if he can catch the back bumper again of Marinak. So far, Stump not able to get there, and we are under caution. Sean Cool, looks like he was involved. We'll find out if he was the only one on the MaxSpeedTV instant replay. '24 car of Sean Cool, kind of all by himself out there. And gets on the gas a little too soon. And with those original tires, the back end of that 24 goes around, self-spin. Nobody else touched. And we are under caution with 9 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line, Rick.
And one person I did not want to see that, Chris, was the number 7 there. And actually, he's coming down pit road right now, along with the 98 and the 18. You know, they finally said, you know what? We're going to have a little shootout here. Let's get some pressed rubber. Now, one thing that these guys have to remember, though, that pressed rubber is going to be very slick for the first couple of laps.
Well, with the track changing the way it has, as we are definitely full on nighttime, I don't know if tires are going to be that big of an issue. My only concern here is there's going to be enough cars ahead of these guys. We're going to have to see how this one breaks down. This could be a make it or break it type situation here, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Nolan, the 87, he is the race leader right now, Chris. He did not come down pit road. He's still on the original set of tires. But one thing I know about Ryan Nolan from him being in racing for a cause, especially when you and I started there, he came in very early in our life there. He likes to have a loose race car, and not having fresh tires does not bother him.
Different pit strategies being employed right now. Some 2-tire stops, some 4-tire stops. And this one is not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 9 laps to go under caution. We have a new race leader. It's Ryan Nolan. Al Smith Jr. going to be starting this one back up in 2nd spot. James McIntyre going to be starting back up in 3rd. We've got the 8 car, Matt Vade in 4th. Zach Coyer going to be restarting in 5th spot. And Justin Rigsby, Brian Hacker, Andy Lambert, Tyler Hilton Steph Marinek rounding out the top 10. Then you've got KD sitting in 11th, AJ Hamill 12th, KR Stolfus 13th, Matthew Spink sitting 14th, Chris Stump 15th, Sean Cool. The reason why this one is under caution right now, the 24 car going to be restarting 16th, Dominic Lee in the 71 going to be restarting 17th, Rex Hoyle going to be restarting in 18th, and Mike Massengill is still on track, going to be restarting in 20th position. So positions have all changed. It's going to be up to the tires now. For these guys that came down, save that set of tires. It's going to be up to those tires to try and get them to the front, and they're going to have to get there quick. Watch for the exciting action as we are going to get ready to go back green flag racing, hopefully sooner rather than later. Rick, I'd like to be green flag like this lap.
Well, you know, we had a couple of cautions there early on, Chris, and these guys had a nice long green flag run. So, you know, this could throw up a lot of things too. I mean, these guys, they finally fell into the rhythm. They're doing what they have to do, but now everything's cooled down. There's a lot of pressure going to be at stake right here. So it's going to get real interesting to see what happens here. We got Ryan Nolan out there with his old tires sitting in first. I know he doesn't mind it too bad, but Al Smith Jr. right there in the 96 sitting in second. James McIntyre, tonight's title sponsor here at Gateway for Racing for a Cause, sitting in third. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens. I want to take a moment here real quick just to thank everybody out there in MaxSpeedTV land. We appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us in the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model Series on Wednesday night. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell to know when when MaxSpeedTV goes live, and it's pretty much every night of the week, Chris.
Yeah, we always have something to bring. And speaking of something to bring tomorrow night, make sure to join us across the infield, coming to you live right here on MaxSpeedTV at 9 o'clock. We will bring you, well, whoever comes in. Honestly, it's always a surprise. Whoever joins us, and we'll do about a half an hour or so, depending on how many we have, and we'll get out of here quick. Friday night, Rick and I are going to be off, as I'm going to be 2 states away. Sunday night, we'll be bringing you Blazing Pedals action here on MaxSpeedTV. And again, next Wednesday, it's right back here to Racing for a Cause. The 87 of Ryan Nolan going to be starting this one on the outside. Al Smith Jr. and his 96 going to be starting to the inside. Watch out for Ryan Nolan. Watch for wheel slip here as he is on the original set of tires still. Matt God is going to be in third with James McIntyre sitting in fourth. I actually switched those two around. It wasn't scoring properly. Ryan Nolan hits the go button and no tire spin out of the 87. He takes off and has a heck of a lead. The battle now right behind him, and it's for second spot. Al Smith Jr. able to hold on to the outside. Vod to the outside now as he is getting freight trained. Al Smith Jr. looks to be getting freight trained on the outside. The 81 steps in, may be able to help out. He does. The 96 gets back around on the inside. The 81 challenging for position. He is up to fifth. That's McIntyre. The 99 of Rigsby on the outside in fourth. The 7 car, that is Steph Marinek on those fresh tires, trying to make it back up front. He's got 5 laps to go. Oh, we got some going around. We got action. And it looks like it was AJ Hamill who was going sideways on the track. We'll go back, take a peek. Yes, AJ Hamill definitely was involved with his car all tore up now. And Ryan Nolan sitting in first spot with 5 laps to go. Skittles checking in. 4 laps to go now for Ryan Nolan. Al Smith Jr. sitting in second. We're under caution. Caution on the track. We're going to go back and take a look. It looks like Sean Cool may have been involved with that one as I heard him shifting up. Sean Cool running behind the 18 of AJ Hamill. Hamill pushes up. Lots of damage on that 18 car. Oh, tries to come down. No room. Hamill and Cool get together. And that brings out a caution. We are under caution with 4 laps to go. This one's going to be done, Rick. Ryan Nolan going to pull this one off by virtue of the caution flag. Al Smith Jr., Justin Rigsby being scored top 3. Matthew Vaught in his 8 car going to be just outside. Steph Marinac was able to make it back up into 5th spot after getting 4 tires. McIntyre going to be finishing 6th. Hacker 7th. Tyler Hilton, solid finish out of him in his 52. Top 10 in 8th. Andy Lambert able to come back and finish in the top 10. Katie Osmond in the 83 finishes 10th. Stump looks like he's going to be in 11th spot. Coyer 12th. KR Stolfus 13th. Dominic Lee in the 71 14th. Matthew Spinks up to 15th. AJ Hamill 16th. Sean Poole 24th. Rex Hoyle 1 lap down, going to finish 18th. And Mike Massengill going to finish in 20th. Wow.
And just so everybody knows, Sean Cole did not actually finish in 24th. He's in the 24 guy.
Yes. Sorry.
He's going to be 17.
Yeah. Ryan Nolan up front, and really it's just a matter of following that pace car now, as it looks like this one may be all done. The 50 coming around to get his lap back. Rex Hoyle will finish on the lead lap.
Now, when Ryan Nolan takes that checkered flag, Chris, he is going to be the first driver here at Racing for a Cause in the Super Late Models to be a 2-time winner. If you remember back on March 13th, he won the Climb 100 at Richmond under the lights. That's pretty cool.
Pace car will cross the start-finish line here under caution. And then it'll be one more slow lap around this 1.25 mile long track to finish off the 75 miles and complete this event. Again, make sure to check us out every Wednesday night right here for some wicked exciting. And man, tonight was wicked exciting. If you missed the beginning of this race, please go back and watch the first at least 25 laps. Oh my goodness. What a race.
We got some really good tracks coming up this season, Chris. Like we said, next week we're going to be in Oxford Plains, Maine. That's going to be a good one for the Leary Firefighters Foundation 150. Then April 10th, we're going to be heading to Five Flags for a night race, and then Langley for a night race on April 17th. We're going to be off on the week of April 24th, starting out in May, doing it right at Southern National under the lights, Chris, for 150 laps. May 8th, we're going to be heading to New Hampshire for the American Diabetes Association 75. Hitting Thompson under the lights, and then ending the season on May 22nd, we're going to be heading to Myrtle Beach for a little night racing there for the Race to a Race MS Championship 150. So definitely got some good tracks coming up next week. Oxford Plains, man. I had a really good finish there back in the days when I used to run the modifieds. I came in second there with some help from some great people there in that community. So a lot of fun on that little track. And it's going to be interesting with these cars too. I mean, there's going to be a lot of power. We're going to have some fun.
The 87 of Ryan Nolan has just a few hundred yards to go before he wins race number 2 of this early season, or his second race, I should say that, of this early season, this being race number 3. And there it is, Ryan Nolan, your race winner here tonight. What a great race. Exciting? It doesn't even begin to bring it up here. This track had it all, and it was fun to watch. Ryan Nolan bringing it home first place. Al Smith Jr. second, and Justin Rigsby. We're going to be rounding out the top 3 guys. Stands right there because we're going to be bringing you post-race action as the 87 sets it up. Takes a little jump in that grass to burn the house down. Congratulations once again to Ryan Nolan. Thank you all for coming out. We'll be right back. And we are back, still watching Ryan Nolan destroy the evidence, the 87 car. And we've got with us Justin Rigsby, driver of the 99, bringing it home third tonight, Justin. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, especially for how we practice. We definitely wasn't the quickest out there, and just luck with our way there at the end, and a little risk with 2 tires, but glad to bring home a podium finish.
Yeah, and it's a good-looking car, not a lot of damage on it, and I don't know how you did that. The right rear maybe a little bit there. Tell me about that race, though, because, man, I'll tell you, it was one of those races I almost lost my voice.
Well, the right rear may have just come from the 87 smacking me, destroying his car protect. But I'm surprised it's not damaged, because early in that race, we got spun. I need to go back and look at that. Don't know what happened. I think we just went 3 wide or something, and everybody ran out of room. And I got turned around, but luckily I don't think anyone hit me, and I just kept her going. And when I pitted, it didn't say I had damaged. But definitely a hard-fought race. These things are a handful here. They pull to the left a little bit, at least for me. So getting in the corner, you're holding the wheel to the right, and you go to get off the gas, you want to jerk to the wall, before you really get down in the corner. So it took some discipline to keep it going right. And like I said, there at the beginning, I'm pretty sure I scraped the wall a few times getting in the corner. But it's good hard racing with everybody. It was fun.
All right, bud. Hey, first of all, congratulations again on the 3rd place finish. It was a very solid run for you. Anybody on that 99 that you need to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Water.org for staying on with us. Dude Wipes, been with us about the whole time as well. Consolidated Pipe and Supply coming on board. White Castle, Attitude Graphics for giving us a cool paint scheme and letting us show off the sponsors, and RFC for allowing people to come out here and watch us and pay attention to some of these great causes that everyone's running.
All right, but couldn't say it better myself. Congratulations again to the driver of the number 99, Justin Rigsby, bringing it home 3rd tonight. And we'll put you back down so you can talk to the other drivers, Justin.
Thanks, guys.
Coming home in 2nd place tonight, it's going to be, oh, Lord, it's Al Smith Jr., driver of the number 96.
Oh, wait, hold on, Chris. Hold on. Warden, yeah, no, we're going to get him back here in a second, Warden, I promise. It'll be quick. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. Mr. Smith, how are you?
Shh, you weren't supposed to tell the warden I got out.
Oh, boy. Well, hey, listen, that number 96 Make-A-Wish Mustang, man, looked pretty good tonight. Tell us about your race, brother.
Yeah, let me tell you what, I wished that we were going to have a good car here tonight at Gateway, and just glad that we could do proud for the Make-A-Wish Foundation with this Mustang, and it was a tough race. You really have to wheel these cars, and the speeds here, I don't know how it looks out, from up in the booth up there, but we are moving around this racetrack. It's a wicked fast track, and it's just one of those things. You gotta wheel it and throttle control and all that, and early there, I think the 22 got loose, and we got caught up in that and just had a little bit of damage at the time.
There's a little more.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. It come down and fixed that and started in the back and just kind of they had that one big wreck on the backstretch and was able to pick off quite a few spots there, and then just slowly got that figured out and moved up, and I really had 1 and 2 figured out. I struggle in 3 and 4 here. Have since we practiced 2 nights in a row here, and but yeah, able to come home in the number 2 spot. Can't really complain too much with that.
Well, no, not at all, buddy. So congratulations on 2nd place. The way that I have my camera set out, actually, I got to thank Ryan Nolan because, unfortunately it's not on the broadcast, but I got a little bit different angle than what Chris has, and it actually looks pretty good out there. So congratulations, brother. Anybody out there on that car you need to thank tonight?
Yeah, I definitely would like to thank the Make-A-Wish Foundation and for what they do for everybody that they help out and make people's dreams come true that potentially want to be able to get it done. So thank them. I got to thank my teammate Jim McIntyre Jr. He sponsored tonight's race, and Andy for putting this on, and you guys up in the booth. And you got to thank the warden, Mrs. Smith, for letting me race tonight.
Well, that's awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you next week as we head to Oxford Plains. Hopefully you bring this momentum right with you, bud. So congratulations.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Driver of the number 96, Al Smith Jr., bringing it home in second spot tonight, and that leaves us just one more guy to talk to. We got to do it before there's nothing left to that number 78. It's Vermont's own, 87. Well, I don't know. I'm dyslexic tonight. Vermont's own Ryan Nolan. Ryan, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I've got you guys.
Well, I'll tell you, bud, you are still celebrating, and well, you should, as you went all 60 laps on the original set of tires that last restart under green. I was worried you were going to slip those tires. It never happened, and you took off like a bullet, and that was pretty much the end of the race. Why don't you talk to me about how you were feeling, say about 20 laps to go?
Well, I think at that point I was in fourth and kind of, I think I was just as fast as the top three, but I just couldn't get by, and I think everyone was having a hard time passing. So when the yellow came out, I was going to try to do whatever they didn't, and I was hoping more people would stay out. I think there was 5 of us that actually did stay out, so I knew if I could get a decent start, we could probably hold on to a top 3, and then there's always that chance of caution, which is what happened, so that kind of sealed the deal for us.
Well, it was a good race, and you were definitely among the faster drivers out there. You started back in the pack. It didn't take you long to get into the top 10, and then, like you said, you were running about 4th, and I think you guys were all pretty darn equal. That last pit stop definitely was the one that sealed the deal for you, as they were marred back in traffic, and playing that pit strategy, doing the opposite of what the leads were doing, that got you where you are today. So congratulations on that. Anybody on that 87 that you need to thank?
Yeah, I gotta thank my wife. She's defending her thesis in a couple of weeks, so we're excited about that. She's been supporting me, and my family, you guys for broadcasting and putting on these races. They're a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I may have one more race left with you guys. And then I'm turning off iRacing for the summer, just because it's going to be a busy year, and may resume again in the fall. But yeah, I just enjoyed being with you guys and racing with everyone. It's been a blast.
Well, it's been a lot of fun having you out there, Ryan. Certainly are going to miss you through the summer. Congratulations to the missus for defending her thesis. That's huge. And again, congratulations to her. Congratulations to you for the victory tonight. And folks, that is going to do it here. That was race winner, driver of the number 87, Ryan Nolan, picking up the second win of this young season. And now it's only two different guys, 3 different races that have won. It's going to be pretty awesome to watch. Rick, it was fun. It was exactly what I needed to get through a Wednesday. And now the rest of the week, I'm going to have the momentum from this race to bring me through it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. These guys did a fabulous job out here. I know it was a little rough start, but, it happens. This track isn't something that they're used to racing on. They're used to the shorter tracks. But all in all, it was a good race, and it was a fabulous finish there. Unfortunately, it was under green, but, hey, those things happen. So, yeah, let's move on to Thursday, man. We got a little bit of a break here before we're back here up in the Hammond Hotel here on MaxSpeedTV. Sunday night with the Blazing Pedals TRJ Karting.com Truck Series. So going to be interested for that. And I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, man, already. Obviously it's hump day, but heading over to Oxford, Ryan Nolan, if he shows up for that race, that car is already ready for it. He doesn't have to do any body work, Chris.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's ready to go, and so are we. Have a good night, everybody.